Welcome to Fantasy Smack Talk. My name is Mike and this is Dustin. We're going to take a quick look at the top 10 value picks from 2008. To make this list, we analyzed the 2008 average draft position and compared that to their final numbers to see which players provided the most bang for their buck. To start off the list at number 10, we have Matt Ryan. The 2008 Rookie of the Year exceeded all expectations, throwing for over 3,400 yards and 16 touchdowns. With an average draft position of 165, he was drafted after QBs like Tavares Jackson, Jamarcus Russell, and JT O'Sullivan. With the addition of Tony Gonzalez, he's certainly worthy of at least a QB2 slot this season.
At number 9, we got Eddie Royal. He went undrafted in most fantasy leagues last year, but after his Week 1 performance, he flew off the waiver wire. I was lucky enough to snag him in a couple leagues, but he didn't have much time. But as far as rookie years go for receivers, he had a great one. He had 91 catches, which is just amazing. We do think his value gets hurt a little bit with Cutler moving on, but he is going to catch a decent amount of passes this year.
At number 8, we got Aaron Rodgers.
Love me some Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers did pretty much everything they asked him to do in Green Bay except for win. But who cares about real wins in fantasy? With an average draft pick of around 115, he ended up throwing for over 4,000 yards and 28 touchdowns. And more importantly, he played in every single game last year after battling an early season shoulder injury. Rodgers is young, so look for him to only improve and be another nice QB1 option this season.
Who needs Favre anyway? Going down to number 7, we have Antonio Bryant. He sat out the 07 season, but he came back in 08 ready to play. He was drafted with about the 190th pick, and he had 83 catches for over 1,200 yards, numbers that shocked pretty much everybody. The quarterback situation in Tampa this year is kind of a mess, so we don't really expect those type of numbers this year, so be careful how much value you give him on draft day.
At number 6, we have Michael Turner. Although Turner was a favorite sleeper pick last season, he still far exceeded a lot of the numbers that people felt they would get out of their 4th or 5th round pick. He rushed for over 1,700 yards and 17 touchdowns. Don't be surprised to see Turner go as early as the 2nd or 3rd overall pick this season. His lack of receiving ability means no extra value in point per reception league, but he's definitely a safe bet to score in an elite fantasy pick this season.
At number 5, we have Roddy White, the 3rd Atlanta Falcon on this list.
Roddy.
He was drafted with about the 70th pick overall last year, and he really rewarded his owners. He had 88 catches, almost 1,400 yards, and 7 touchdowns. He had an instant connection with Matt Ryan, and we think that connection is going to carry over into this year. Look for Roddy to have another solid season.
Number 4, we have Matt Forte. Forte was another excellent 2008 value pick and another rookie with a tremendous season. He was drafted around the 75th overall pick and ended up racking up over 1,200 yards and added 63 receptions. Forte's outstanding rookie performance has quickly vaulted him into elite status. Forte should be a top 3 pick in most leagues this year.
At number 3, we got another rookie, Chris Johnson. Went with about the 100th pick last year, and he was nothing short of a fantasy stud. Rushed for over 1,200 yards and had 9 touchdowns. Now he is in the timeshare with Lindell White again this year, and Lindell probably is going to take some of his goal line carries, but we still think Johnson's going to have another solid season.
Number 2, we have Steve Slaton. He went with about the 140th overall pick last year, and a big part of that was due to the uncertainty at the running back position in Houston. Amon Green, Chris Brown, and Slaton were all vying for the job. Early season injuries to both Green and Brown opened the door for Slaton, and he never looked back, rushing for nearly 1,300 yards and 9 touchdowns. He also had 50 receptions last season, so he should see a slight bump in value in a PPR league. Slaton should be a 1st or 2nd round pick in all fantasy drafts and a solid RB1 slot this season.
And at number 1, we got DAngelo Williams. Went with about the 90th pick overall last year. And we were really high on DAngelo coming in because a lot of people will forget about the existing running back when a rookie comes in. And that was definitely the situation last year with Jonathan Stewart. But DAngelo had a breakout season. He had over 1,500 rushing yards and 18 touchdowns. And don't forget his 4 touchdown performances in Week 13 and 16. Now he is going to be sharing time again with Jonathan Stewart this year, so be careful how much value you give him because he is going to be a little overvalued this year probably. But he's one of the most exciting players in the league. He has more big play potential than anyone else, and he really is always just one play away from a good fantasy week.
Well, that concludes our '08 value picks. Hopefully you had a couple of these guys on your team last season. If you didn't, be sure to check out our '09 fantasy draft specials, including all our tiers and rankings for all the positions, and be sure to check out our fantasy forum at fantasysmacktalk.com. I'm Mike. This is Dustin. Thanks for joining us.